It's Politics Day, and I'm almost back on schedule, only a day late. Not going to talk about the presidential race today, though. Tuesday, the 5th of June, the second most important election in the country. I'll explain. Hi, I'm Mikola. The vote for president isn't until November, and I'm not sure how many folks are even paying attention this early. I think it's like sports. There's baseball, and then there's the World Series. There's football, and then there's the Super Bowl. Translation for those of you outside the U.S., and I just checked, it's about half of you. There's football, and then there's the World Cup. It works that way with politics, too. Junkies like me follow along every twitch of the campaign. Everyone else shows up in the last month. But Tuesday night, this week, tonight, all the political junkies in the U.S. are focused on Wisconsin. The recall election for Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Quick background, 2008, Barack Obama wins in a landslide. 2010, the GOP comes roaring back, captures Senate seats, a majority in the House, but even more important, the GOP makes huge gains in the states. In state legislatures, the GOP picks up a total of 660 seats from Democrats. Here, states the GOP controlled before the election in 2010, boom. States they controlled after the election. In addition, 11 state governorships flipped from Democratic to Republican. 5 flipped the other way for a net GOP gain of 6. Why should we care? State politics don't get a lot of attention at the national level, even less internationally. But they should. Their impact is enormous. States control access to abortions. And suddenly, after 2010, the anti-abortion movement began pushing a lot of legislation through state houses, with over 90 bills enacted last year to restrict abortion rights. States set voting qualifications. Since 2010, more than a dozen states have introduced laws making it harder to vote, especially among groups that tend to vote for Democrats, students, minorities, the elderly. States set a lot of the laws under which labor unions operate, especially public employee unions, teachers, firefighters, police, etc. Anti-union laws were passed in New Jersey, Florida, Ohio, Michigan, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Restricting unions not only serves the corporate sponsors of the Republicans, it also weakens the Democrats. And that's because unions are strong allies of the Democratic Party. They contribute both cash and volunteers to help get out the vote. Any damage that state Republicans can do to unions now will also damage the Obama campaign in November. And the poster boy for the GOP anti-union agenda is unquestionably Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. At the start of his term last year, he introduced a bill labeled as a budget repair bill, but it also stripped collective bargaining rights from most public employees. He exempted firefighters and police who had backed his election. He never campaigned on union busting. He just sort of showed up and did it. The result was weeks of protest across Wisconsin, a recall campaign against state senators who had backed the bill, and a successful petition by voters to hold a recall election for governor and 3 other top officials. That election is today, and it's put Wisconsin in the spotlight. Walker is outspending his Democratic challenger, Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett, 7-1. Some estimates even say 10-1. Mikola's take? Walker is doing the dirty work of the most privileged and richest class in the United States, cynically pitting the have-nots against the have-lesses, to the ultimate benefit of only the have-lots. Walker's tactics have divided Wisconsinites bitterly against each other. Walker's ability to spend virtually unlimited cash for advertising has kept him ahead. Late polls say he has the lead, but polls say his Democratic challenger is within striking distance. Over the weekend, word came that the governor is the target of a criminal investigation, but he's been able to keep the details out of the news. In 2010, Walker beat Barrett to become governor in the first place. This year, polls say he's on track to beat him again, and he will remain the governor of Wisconsin. But it all depends on turnout. Tom Barrett on his Facebook page reports that folks who signed recall petitions are getting robocalls telling them their work is done, they don't need to come out and vote today. But the sad thing is, whoever wins, the poison of bitterness and divisiveness unleashed by Scott Walker will remain in Wisconsin for a long, long time to come. Until next time, I'm Mikola. God, I hate ending on a downer.